Isinagawa ang isang pagpupulong ng mga opisyal ng lalawigan ng Rizal sa pangunguna ni Gobernador Ynares at ang mga kinatuan mula sa DPWH, CTI at NHA. Gayon din ang ating mga mayors na sina Mayor Alan De Leon, Mayor Kit Nieto, Mayor Junjun Ynares at ang ating mga kongresista na sina Kong Jojo, Kong Puno at Kong Mia. Naging paksa ang makagawa ng pangmatagalang solusyon sa bahang naranasan tuwing may bagyo at matinding ulan, dulot naman ng habagat tulad ng naranasan sa nakalipas na sunod-sunod na bagyo. Ang Pasig Marikina River Channel Improvement Project Phase 4 na ang layunin ay pagtugmain ang mga technical na detalye at maiparating ang mga saloobin at concern ng bawat lokal na pamahalaan upang maging mas maayos at epektibo ang pagpapatupad ng proyekto.
National government, DPWH dito sa inyo?
Well, we have sheet piles na ginagawa to cover yung shoulder ng mga creek and waterways natin. They're also putting up a pump station near Bully Creek. And we've just discussed a couple of days back na I am actually requesting the DPWH to fund yung malaking Interceptor drainage project natin along Imelda Avenue that would create another outfall para ma-ease up yung volume ng mga tubig na kailangan dumaan sa loob ng villages para lang makalabas sa Cainta River.
Ang ibang mga politicians na intriga doon sa nilabas ni BBM, dito ba sa Cainta, meron kayong hindi alam na nilagay lang ng DPWH tapos sila lang ang gumawa?
If you go through the top 10 na nabigyan ng pondo, Rizal is not part of it. And if you're talking about Cainta, hindi kami, wala kaming ganong mga projects.
Pero anong masasabi niyo doon sa sinabi ni BBM na kasi sabi ni Mayor Magalong, hindi lang dapat sisihin ng kontraktor, kundi pati mga politicians din dahil bulk talaga, mas malaki yung kinikita. 35% na lang sa budget yung project, kaya anong komento nito?
Alam mo, ano yan these are generalities, no? These are actually statements or pronouncements that give you direction on where the government should lead us to. But I don't think I'm a proper person to comment on their stand, no? Sabi ko nga, ako abogado ko, I go by facts, I go by data, I go by, specifically zeroing in on who is supposed to be culpable, who's supposed to be liable, who's supposed to be accused, who should be charged, no? But barring that, I belong to an institution Ang institution ko, gobyerno. So as far as I am, from my end point of view, say, ilabas niyo lahat yan. But at the end of the day, let us save the institution. Lahat tayo, parte tayo ng gobyerno. Ako, nahirapan ako na ayusin ang imahe ng gobyerno sa mata ng mga taga-Cainta. But eventually, after 3 or 4 years, yung credibility ng gobyerno namin, maayos. Tanggap kami, acceptance namin, wala kaming opposition, because we're actually doing it right. Minsan, masakit pakinggan, mapanood, na may mga ganong kataga o mga salita that speaks of generalities, no? You don't bring down the institution. You put to jail those who should be there. Diba? Kasi parang lahat yan madadamay Lahat yan parang binabahira mo. There's actually a stain that's being thrown towards government and whoever is colluding with them, no? Sa akin, dahil nandito ako, parte ako ng institution, isa ako sa mga tao magtataguyod ng imahe, no? At yung reputasyon ng gobyernong pinaghirapan kong gawin dito sa Cainta and for the rest of the country.
Mayor, si Mayor Anchodoro ng Marikina bilang focal person sa flood mitigation. So mayroon siya panawagan sa mga LGU, mga neighboring cities and towns na magkaroon ng coordination kasi ang gusto mangyari sa flooding problem, magkaroon ng whole of nation approach. So magtutulungan dapat. So anong masasabi niyo?
She can always address the invitation to us if she's really hell-bent on doing that. I mean, it's not just parang pronouncement, no? Di pagbigyan na invitation. Pag natanggap, di attend. In fact, sa Rizal, on Tuesday, we're having a scheduled flood summit, no? Involving some of the legislators and some of the local officials of the different towns to identify exactly ano ba dapat nating gawin, saan tayo patungo. So I had to prepare for it. Insofar as Cainta is concerned, I can speak laboriously tungkol dito sa aspect na to. Dahil pinag-aralan ko itong maigi. And I would just give my piece siguro when I am asked and summoned to speak about it and see what the resolutions are. Alam naman namin it's just that we need some support coming maybe from the higher ups and from the national government just to implement this.
May mga data po tayo na ipapakita na in-improve o binaba ng flooding problem. Kumbaga yung baka kung dati sobrang taas ngayon, hindi na ganun ka laki.
It's both testimonial and factual. So I'll be speaking as someone who's actually here submerged in waters. I'll be speaking as someone who's already experienced this for the last decade, and whatever improvements that we have done and whatever it is that we wish could be done by the national government, just so we can expedite the resolution of this matter.
Broaden mo nga sa amin yung, kasi matagal lang pinag-cover sa'yo, mga komento nila, yun lang yung sinasabi na para ma-feel, malaman ng mga tao na may gobyerno na nagtatrabaho para sa kanila. Maraming positive comments dun sa mga
nararamdaman ng gobyerno.
I-broaden yung mga komento.
Well, kasi there's a thin line between politicizing and reporting. Di ba? Minsan hindi mo alam kasi kung nagko-cross ka na nung line na yun. If you're actually doing it for yourself, or you're actually telling the people that this is what we are doing and where we're headed. Minsan nahahalo na yun That's why I'm very, very particular about posting the stuff that I do, just because I want people to realize na kahit tulog kayo, nag-iisip ako. Kahit na iniisip nyo na walang nangyayari, may solusyon kaming ginagawa. That we are not actually halting, stopping, or giving up on the situation that we are in, because yung pagiging nandito namin should actually be an impetus of hope. Yung pagkakaroon ng isang gobyerno na tumatakbo rito, yun dapat yung simbolo ng pag-asa na habang nandito kami, hindi kami titigil hanggang hindi naiaayos yung lahat ng dapat ayusin sa bayan namin. So kung talagang huling bagay na dapat namin ayusin is flooding, di flooding talaga ang fino-focus namin ngayon. And that way, when people get to realize that they are informed, na very transparent yung aming pag-iisip. And in fact, we're trying to take in comments as many as we can dahil we don't have a monopoly of knowledge We can't really say na kami lang nakakaintindi ng lahat. That's exactly why when I bring this out in the open, I'm actually looking for intelligent comments or replies that would make me realize that there is something that I need to do na hindi ko nakita or na-oversee ko lang. Di ba?
Question. I was at the Senate yesterday, so this is another pressing matter regarding total banning. It's a proposition for vote with the Senate of illegal gun. What do you say for?
I'm all for it. I've always been all for it.
Is Cainta also having problems with the illegal gun mga residente po?
If this is Wi-Fi based, I have a problem. I have a problem controlling it That's exactly what I'm saying. No? From the onset, sabi ko, yung gustong magsabong, pumunta sa sabungan. Diba? Pero wag mong gagawing access lahat ng coffee shops para magka-access lahat ng tao na kahit hindi ka interesado, when you get to see and see how convenient it is to gamble and to play those games and eventually become addictive to it, and then you're already destroying the very fiber of society. At the end of the day, what becomes of these people? We've seen actually people who have been undergoing all these therapies. Di ba, ang dami-dami mga rehab centers ngayon that akala nyo lang kasi drug addiction. Hindi meron din therapy for this, no? Do we really want our people to suffer this, no? Di ba, parang napaka-basic nga nun. I've always been against it.
Just want to add po, there's a city na kiniklaim na hindi legal ang gambling like sabungan. And what's your take po on that? Is it possible for Cainta to have that? Or may advantage po na magkaroon ng mga sugalan?
As I've said, no, there has to be a venue for it. Only for people who really wish to go there. But to have access to the internet and then gamble on that basis, you're already hitting everyone. Wala na nga exempted Wala na nga exempted, di ba? Parang everyone will be vulnerable to being in that thing, in that gaming, kasi ang dali-dali when you have that. I think there's a BSP regulation already na parang binabawal yata sa GCash. I just hope it gets implemented soonest para para mabawasan na kagad, ma-mitigate na itong problema ito.
Meron na si Gcash, may warning na, may reminder na.
Yeah, link.
Napansin ko yung DILG ng kautusan na babal daw yung mga kabali ng gobyerno sa kamahalan na Gcash, Sato, ay
I think it's all encompassing. Yung policy by itself does not really just strike out a particular sector or people. Lahat, di ba? And ako, siguro, if there is a standard na tingin nyo mas mataas dahil nagtatrabaho yung mga tao sa gobyerno, so be it. As I've said, no, it doesn't change my position whether itong sector lang ang pinayagan, whether itong sector lang to ang binawalan. By and large, no, yung mismong activity by itself, problema yan talaga. Isang malaking problema yan sa lipunan. Natuning Cainta.
Sana, sir, magaya tayo Singapore na mga taga-Singapore hindi pwedeng pumasok ng casino. Mga taga-ibang bansa na nakapasok. Sa ating hanggang cellphone, nakapasok ng sugalit na dapat maiwasan natin.
Manawagan ka.
Ginagawa na nila ngayon.
Hindi, manawagan ka sa Pilipinas.
Usapan na po.
Oo.
Sir, kumusta na po yung 400 na kataong?
They're working already. Nandiyan na sila. Ano no?
Dagdagan pa po ba?
Hindi po pwede madagdagan kasi limitado ang pondo. Yung pondo natin is for 400. So, nakaspread sila doon sa mga villages affected by the flooding. At, yeah, they're all working. It's their day 3 already. We provided all the materials that they need para sa para mabungkal nila, yung lahat ng ginagamit ng mga tripod para mahukay nila. There's the ropes, the shovels, and all that's needed, no? Nagpapasalamat ako kay Secretary Benny Laguesma at kay Pangulong Marcos, no, for allowing us to have this program. Tupad siya tupad ang ginamit namin. Sabi ka, it's serious job. Talagang seryosong trabaho ito para doon sa mga taong gusto. And it's overstretch ko siya to 90 days talaga. Yung maximum binigay sa akin ni Secretary Laguesma para ma-implement yan. Kasi bibigyan mo ako ng 10 days, wala akong matatapos, baka 3 kali. Pero you have 90 days, inutusan ko yung mga opisyalis ng mga subdivision. Bigyan nyo ako ng work plan. Kayo ang mga supervisor. Tapos ituro nyo sa akin ngayon lahat yung mga akalya na nalinis nyo na. At yung mga akalyang na-discovery nyo na sira ang mga drainages. Para doon naman kami papasok, i-repair namin, papalitan namin. Para masiguro namin na pag tumakbo ang tubig, nasa ilalim lahat ng kalyan, diretso sa outfall. So far, so good, no? Makikita ko yung actual result maybe in 30 to 45 days base na lang doon sa magiging reports ng mga villages.